Hey everybody, it's Eric with What's in the Box, and we're continuing the Texas Horror Lit Fest author interviews. And today we have Abigail F. Taylor with us. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to get to the event. We still we're about a month or so away, a month and a couple weeks. So it's going to be June 27th through 28th at the Irving Convention Center in Irving, Texas. And it's a free event, but you do have to pay for parking. At the center, if you do a little digging, you might be able to figure out a way to get there for free. But there is a $15 parking charge. But the event itself is free. Tons of great authors like Abigail here, and we hope to see everybody out there. And so we're going to start the interview off like we always do. Freddie, Michael, Jason. Do you have a preference?
What was Brady Michael Jason?
Freddie Krueger,
Oh,
Michael
okay.
Myers, Jason.
I thought you said Brady, like okay. Freddie, Michael, Jason. I'm gonna go for Michael
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. I could go on a whole rant about like anti Freddy Krueger, but
Oh, please do. Usually
no,
everybody's pro Freddy, and Freddy's the
no,
choice.
no, because look at okay, for the record, my first experience was Freddy versus Jason, the Final Nightmare. We snuck in underage, so that was my first introduction. And from that, I could have been Freddy, but watching the original, he's a he is an Epstein person, so
He
it's
has
like
a terrible backstory. He
yeah,
has a terrible backstory.
and I don't understand. Like I'm with the parents. Like that shit on fire.
Yeah.
Like I get why he has the revenge. I understand his revenge arc. It's a great story. I just don't understand like why so many people aren't dressing up as yuppies holding like torches. I think that would be like more of a deep cut for Halloween versus like, hey, everybody, let's dress up like a pedophile.
I know, right? And that's a funny thing. And I think the reason that he does so well, though, is because he's got a better PR campaign because he is a smart
God,
aleck. If
it's
he,
all
because I was gonna say, if he was silent like the other two, then
yeah,
everybody would hate Freddy Krueger. It's because he's so funny and
yeah.
and his kills are clever. So, but yeah, no, I'm a
It's true.
Jason guy,
Yeah.
so I totally get where you're coming from.
See,
Um,
are you a Jason from it's actually his mom from the original or like when they started to make a
Oh, I
franchise
love
out of
all of it. I love all of it from
it? Okay.
one to
Yeah.
X, even
Yeah.
the remake. I'm a fan of the remake. I love Jason.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, there's always something to say about like the leprechaun,
Oh,
which
right,
you
right.
but like just how fun it was to be like, oh, the leprechaun in the hood, the leprechaun in outer space, and then Jason kind of followed up with that. But yeah, I think Jason is definitely like more a really great like slasher character.
So what's your
But
favorite Halloween movie?
oh, okay. American Werewolf in London is by
Oh
far
no,
my
I mean Halloween of the franchise,
oh
but yeah, I get what
Halloween.
you're getting.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
My favorite Halloween movie. I'm definitely an original.
Okay.
So I liked what they did with the remake, the first remake,
Hmm.
giving him more of a backstory with like why he was put in the asylum. But nothing beats just the sheer terror of not knowing who he is, I think is more terrifying than like having all this information, because then you can kind of forgive him as a person.
Yeah,
But
I
if
see
you
that.
don't know who he is or his motivations, it's just like this ominous, slowly walking time is after all of us kind of creature.
Hmm.
So,
I always argue that if Zombie didn't have Halloween and Michael
hmm
Myers on those movies, if they were a straight up slasher movie, that
hmm
people would celebrate them as a great movies.
yeah,
It's the fact
yeah,
that they're trying to tie it into the mythos of Michael that I think makes people push against it. But I get that. But
I
like
mean,
I said,
he
I
had
don't know. I
great,
just think Jason has the best beginning to end catalog.
yeah. I think, well, he was like the first really to campaign for slasher films to be taken more seriously. Anyway, so
Yeah,
yeah, he definitely
it's an
has.
interesting, and I enjoyed your Freddie pushback because we've never had Freddie pushback. We've done this a couple years early with Texas AuthorCon, and then we took
Uh-huh.
last year off. So it's refreshing to see something new on that.
Yeah.
So
Love the actor. Hate the character.
totally right, and that just shows you also he's how amazing an actor he is because he
Right. Yeah.
really does such a good job of creeping you out as Freddy. So
Yes. Yeah. He's great. It's yeah,
and
bar
then
none. It's a fantastic movie.
yeah, my next question we might have a callback already, but favorite cryptid or creature? Do you have one that you particularly enjoy?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm a huge werewolf nut,
So
but if we're
yeah,
going,
I was gonna say I think in werewolf is
yeah,
100% okay. I thought that might be where you're going after your Halloween answer.
yeah. But we go, as far as cryptids go, there's so many fun ones that like you can unearth as you're starting to think of like, oh, how can I write something that's more unique? And there's like the giant water dog of Ireland. I'm not going to say it in Irish because I'm going to butcher it. My Texas accent will come out, but it's
Oh, I
like,
always say Dobo Shaw
yeah, there we go.
because
See, in my head, it's like Dubgar, and I'm like,
I
please.
am the exact same way when I try to explain it because I actually have a book with that in it, and so
Do you really?
I explain what it is and then I butcher the name and then I
I
go on with the
love
lie.
that. I'm actually working on one right now. Like I'm
Very
I'm
cool.
I'm at the final fight scene, and then I took a break to revamp a book that I'm pushing out. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but it's nice to see like the and then on the borderlands of Texas has so many cryptids, everything
Hmm.
from like the hairy hand, and there's one Choctaw mythology where it's just like these headless women are just like rolling into town and just menacing. Like they're not eating babies, they're not like doing anything. They're just like, we're heads, blah, go to bed.
Yeah.
It's just like it's amazing, and you're like, wow, why don't we have like more like insights into like these like deep cut unknown cryptids that are part of like part of our society,
Hmm.
and we just go for the classics, I guess, because that's what we're familiar with.
I agree with you 100%. There's so many amazing urban legends and cryptid stories, and I'm
Mhm.
constantly making notes. I've got a huge
Mhm.
thing just filled with like, here's an idea, a little nugget of a character that maybe I can figure out how to get into a story. Because
Yeah.
there's so many tales out there that need to have more light shined on them. Texas
Right.
is full of them, so that's the great thing too.
It's wonderful. It's like, and going back to my version of the water dog that I'm working on, it's more about like how the concept of bringing in like immigrants, bringing in their own ideas and their own stories, and how it like settles into the environs that like they find themselves in, and how it like turns around and adapts into what's already there. So
Hmm.
like, why can't the water dog be in Lake Caddo? Like what
Yeah.
happened there, so
Cool, very cool. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that one. I just took
thanks.
it and I just dropped it in a Texas lake and just it's just wild
Oh
out.
really?
Yeah,
Oh fun.
I was like,
Yay.
I just said, oh yeah, they brought it here and just dropped it
Yeah,
into a lake to cause some
for
trouble.
sure. For
So
sure. Most Irish avoided Ellis Island because of the persecution, and we're just like, you know what's cool? Mexico. And they just came into the Gulf and like got some land. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's amazing what people can bring into the country and kind of let loose, and then we can kind of
Mhm.
take that and make some fun stories with it. So. Um,
Yeah.
The final question is there a book or an author or maybe a series that inspired you to want to be a writer or somebody that you might point to say, oh, this is when I knew I wanted to do this? And it's
Okay.
okay if there's not. If you just want to talk about a favorite book, that's fine too.
There I have, honey, you can come up, it's fine. I have, so really what got me interested in like the historical side of things, because I write a lot of historical based horror stories. Um, but it was the Dear America series
Hmm.
for the lack of public education. Like a librarian was just like, hey, look at these books. And I was like, why aren't they teaching this in school? And I like devoured those. And then from there, I mean, everybody in kind of my age group has the quintessential Goosebumps Scholastic Book Fair kind
Hmm.
of deal, and those were often sold side by side. So like that in my head translated to like, oh, what if you're on the Oregon Trail and you die of dysentery, but then zombie?
Right.
You know, and so that kind of like what settled in my head. But as far as like an author to make me go, oh, I guess I really can do it. Um, like as a job. My dad is a poet, and so I knew going in you wouldn't make any money out of doing it, but I saw that he was part of the community and like doing things with that and like making connections and like just being able to be part of that like idea of flourishing in like a group setting of
Hmm.
being able to share art. And so that was kind of like, oh, okay, I can actually do this as a job. So that was kind of, you
That's
know,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Very cool. Um, yeah, no, I wasn't expecting you to see your dad to do it too. So that's really cool.
yeah.
Um,
I wish I had been born a little bit earlier so that I could have just on a local level get that nepotism,
mhm.
but I'm
Right.
I missed out on that.
Yeah, no, I get that too. So yeah, it's always be nice to have him right there to kind of, hey,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, but hey, I've been kind of doing that with my son. Yeah, I keep
Mm-hmm.
telling him that if he wanted to write, there's openings, there's
Yeah.
avenues that I can help him with right now that, let's see if
Yeah.
we can get it going. But
It's definitely getting a lot harder when it maybe just even 10 years ago, it was still very much, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
mhm.
But now it's like, it's not who you know, it's have you written fan fiction or do you use AI to your advantage? It's
Right.
like, oh, no.
Yeah, yeah, the big
Um,
AI war, isn't that's one of those headaches that we in the community have to deal with. And what's
mhm.
weird is I don't see it or hear about it in the other communities, writing communities,
Yeah,
as much as in the horror community is quite frowned upon and can cause a lot of, discord
yeah.
within the community. But I don't see it as much in the other ones, which I find odd. Um,
I I've seen it in a lot of conversation with the romance,
a little, yeah,
but
okay.
yeah. So there was one woman who she wouldn't give her real name for reasons, but she was bragging on some prominent like mainstream news publication that she's like, I can write 200 stories
Oh yeah, I know
and
this one. Yeah.
yeah, and she was that romance. So it's like, well,
Yeah,
good
and
for
I
you,
get
but
that. I get the upset about writing, but I mean, even
yeah,
if you just want to use it for advertising or anything
yeah,
for a community, they will come after you like Frankenstein's monsters.
yes,
So
for sure.
if you are interested in joining the horror community and want to produce books and stuff, just know that you need to do it the hard way. Write everything
Yeah.
yourself, find an editor, you know,
Hmm.
get a cover artist. They would prefer you to have a black cover with your name and the title than an AI thing. You're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, for
turn
sure. And
a
then
lot
just
of
make
horror
those,
people off.
yeah, and make those connections. Like one of the things that I found is like if you reach out to college students who are looking into illustration
Hmm.
and character design work, they'll be like, you don't want to give them that nonsense about oh, it'll be good for your exposure. You want to pay them, but they'll be more willing to work with a budget sliding scale than somebody who like does Simon and Schuster. And
Right.
it's also like, well, because I reached out to an artist that I really like, and she's like, yeah, my sketches are $5,000. And I was like, oh, I walk dogs for a living. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I know, right? It's always funny when you get one person that might be really flexible with their payments or
Hmm.
their pricing, and then you'll talk to another person and it's like the most ridiculous thing you've ever, like a car, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm not in this ballpark. I don't know what we're doing here. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's the advantage of trade pub basically these days is just that they can foot the bill and that's about it.
Yeah, and what's funny though is if I watch, I see some of that, and then you see they're still not doing a lot of the things that they used to do, More and more
Right.
stuff's getting put in the author's lap.
Yeah, the
So,
the marketing in particular. So, which, great.
right. But don't use AI when you're doing it. So
Right.
that's that all those catches. So
Right.
it's gonna be interesting. The next couple years are gonna be very interesting to see how everything evolves and if I can almost see there being like a human camp. It's gonna turn into the Terminator at some point. we're going to
Yeah,
be fighting these robots to get our stories out there. But
yeah, for sure.
hopefully we win. We'll see.
My dyslexia comes to my advantage, proof that it's human made.
Right, right. Unless they see an M dash, and then of course everybody will lose their mind again, and so we get to go back and forth, and back and forth. So it's an interesting thing. It's fun. It's been in yeah, it's been kind of challenging, and but also I'm like I started my first one in 2019, and so it's like seeing just all the changes just in the last 5 years or so. It's just been
Mhm.
amazing. Um, all the ups and downs and stuff within the
Yeah.
community itself. Um,
Yeah.
so let's slide over to the table itself. Texas
Okay.
Horror Lit Fest. It's going to be June 27th, 28th, 10 to 6 both days. Like I said, it's a free event, but there is going to be there is a ticket place online. The link will be down below. You guys can sign up for a ticket, and then I think you can use that to enter into a prize pool thing, and then also let us know you're coming, and that way we can plan for stuff. There'll be panels and of course a bunch of amazing authors like yourself. And then can you show us what you have, what you plan on having at the table?
Yeah, for sure. I have so my debut that came out with Luna Press Publishing. It's The Night Begins. It's basically like a Southern Gothic
Sweet.
um folklore thing.
Mhm.
So it's skin stealing monsters and tumultuous relationships with the mothers and daughters, the classics.
Yeah, no, that
uh,
sounds awesome.
yeah, it was really fun to write. It's like the seventh book that I wrote, but the first one published.
Mhm.
So there. And then I have this is my second book. So that came out in 2023, and this one came out just last year. It's called Mary Neal 1962.
Very
And
cool.
it's set in Maryneal, Texas in 1962. This book is set in one night. I'm really good at at title
Yeah.
chapters. And I have so this one, I wanted a character when I wrote this one ages ago. I wanted a character that looked like my grandmother, like a 6 foot tall, swarthy Choctaw woman. Because when she was growing up, she didn't have like that representation for her. And by the time it got published, luckily we've been having a golden era of Indigenous stories.
Hmm.
So this is just a little drop in the bucket. So it kind of goes in there a little bit about it's very subtle commentary, kind of like if you know, you know discussions. But it's mostly just American Graffiti meets American Werewolf in London.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, and also gay. So there's that. And then my newest one that's coming out is I did a redo of this. So this was an art project that I did to kind of pay homage to the Pulp Fiction westerns
Hmm.
for a school project. And I used the artwork from Sam Hears, who is a musician, and he's also a really fantastic, like, I don't know if y'all can see because of the
No,
glare.
it's a great cover. I've seen it online too.
Yeah, he's a fantastic horror designer. Like you should see his mermaid stuff. Like for mermaid,
Hmm.
it's the most gruesome, like underwater, like with hooks and fangs and all the bloody stuff. And what I wanted to do, because this I wrote this like pre-pandemic, and I'm a better writer now, I think. And I wanted to kind of do like a diet splatterpunk,
Hmm.
so to get like to not be as gruesome as the playground, but to be like, hey, if you think you want to look at some more gore stuff, here you go. But it's still like, it's kind of like dipping your toes. It's like PG-13
Right.
versus, dead inside. But so I revamped it, and so the new version is going to be out on the table, and then I'll
Oh,
have
that's
like
awesome.
some more stuff for pre-orders for things that are coming out.
Okay.
So it's mostly just going to be like mostly historical things, Indigenous, Irish inspired folklore and mythology, all set in Texas. So
Very cool. I'm
yeah,
interested in all of that. I think all that sounded fantastic. Can't wait to
well,
swing by
thank
the
you.
table and check it out.
Yeah, get yourself some like bookmarks and stuff.
Yeah, and I might have to grab the Western. I'm a big fan of the splatter Westerns, so
Okay, yeah, it's only 46 pages, so well, not even that. I think there's like it's 36 plus like an author's note. So but yeah, so it'll
yeah,
be
I mean the story is as long as the story needs to be, right? So I've got some
right,
that are pretty
exactly.
short, and then I call them pocket books, and they're very tiny, and
I
you can
have
just
one of your pocketbooks,
well there you
yeah.
go. So, um, but I've started some of the ones like Rest Stop 2 ended up being so big that's a really thick little pocketbook. It can really
Hmm.
I was like I got to put that into mass market if I wanted to. Um,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've got one that's like being looked at right now. It's always almost signed, and it never is, but it's like 85,000 words. And so it's like, hey, I have for full length stuff that I would like to bring to the table, but
right.
it depends on the fates.
Right. Sometimes it does. And unfortunately, you just got to hit the right note at the right time. So,
Yeah, so but yeah, the Western is my test experiment to see how I do at self-publishing. So I've spent 20 years in trad pub and I'm exhausted, so try something
yeah,
new.
the self-publishing can be pretty tiring too, but it's also kind of fun. You kind of
Yeah,
dip your toe in new things and
yeah, and you get more control, and then you don't have
yeah.
anybody saying, "No, that's stupid."
Yeah, yeah, well, you do, but it's after you've already put all your time and
Right.
effort into it, and then they read
Yeah,
it, and then they get that message, this is stupid, and you're like, well, I'm still gonna go with it because I've already committed this far. So maybe
right.
we can get past it.
I'll
So
tell you though, like my tipping point to just be like, I'm gonna do it myself was that I had a referral to an agent, and she looked through 3 books of mine and she goes, these are all books that I would read if I was in my book club. And that's awesome.
yeah,
So
right?
I'm gonna pass. And I was like,
That makes no
no.
sense. That makes
Right?
no sense. This is exactly what I want to read, but no thank you.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
Like I thank you for your time,
I
I
know,
guess.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I can't ever, I just don't understand it half the time when I hear the stories like that or when I've talked to some people and I'm just like, well, I feel like, none of it. I feel like Will Ferrell's character in Zoolander, am
Yeah.
I the only one taking crazy pills, or whatever? Because
Yeah.
it's like, I just don't understand what's going on anymore.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
very
Yeah, and
cool.
I think we all deserve the Hollywood version of getting a book deal is when it's like, oh, I'm sending a first draft to my friend who happens to be an editor, and suddenly, surprise, you're on a book tour now, and we've signed contracts for you, and it's taken 6 months.
Yeah, right? That'd be nice.
Oh,
That would be nice.
amazing.
So, um, well, thank you for jumping on and
Yeah,
sharing
absolutely.
and giving us an incredible Freddie take, which we haven't had yet. I'm gonna wait and see if anybody else brings it up. Although they might after they see your episode.
Well, I'm happy to have that argument.
Yes, you will be. You're a trendsetter, so we will
Oh,
see.
great.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for popping on, and I will see you at
Yeah.
the event.
Thank you for having me, and I'll see you there.
Take it easy.